welcome back to Tiger Chicks Resin Jungle. I'm Tracy, and I just got in the Let's Resin Bookmark kit, and this one has some different things in them that I'm going to be coloring. This one's just a cat. This one's the phases of the moon. This one's got some stars and a cat sitting in the moon. This one's got the moon, the sun, and the moon. I tried to put them on a background that you could see, but I'm going to color them. And I'm going to do these moons here in this orange-yellow glow-in-the-dark pigment powder. And then I'm going to color the cat and the stars in different colors, and then I'm going to do the moon and the stars in a different color. I'm not going to paint the cat. So, I'm going to start with this glow-in-the-dark color, and I'll have to clean up around it afterwards, because unlike regular pigment powders, these glow-in-the-dark ones are kind of gritty, and they don't stick well, unlike, regular mica powders that tend to stick really well. So I'm going to give that a color. And we're going to color this one in. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to back this in like a translucent blue color. I figure it kind of look like the sky at night maybe. Or at least it'd be really cool looking. And I'll clean these up. So we'll see how it looks when it comes out. I will have to clean up the background of the bookmark before I pour my color. I'll have yellow, not just on the moons. I'll have it all over the place. And I want it just on the moons. I don't know if you can see, but they seem it doesn't quite go on like mica powder. It's grittier, but it's fun to use. So we're going to put that there. And I'm going to blow this off, so hold on a second. All right, 2 down. 1 to go. Okay, there we go. All right, we thought the moons were hard. Gonna do the outside of the sun here in this color. That should be fun. I thought doing the moons was rough. Blow this out a little. Okay, so we've got the glow in the dark, we got the cat and the stars, and we've got the moon and the sun. All right, those are done. Okay, my resin is mixed up. All right, I'm going to pour a little bit in here. I have no idea how much these take. Drop of blue. And a drop of metallic blue. Look at that color. Got to get this all mixed up. And I have to mix it carefully. I don't want to put any bubbles in it. All my color is on the sides. I don't see any metallic though. A little bit more metallic. I decided to go with alcohol inks because I kind of want them transparent a little bit and not, you know, solid colors. I think they'd look kind of nice being a translucent color. I don't really see any of the metallic. Oh, there's a little bit in there. Yeah, which is just what I want, just a slight hint of metallic. Trying to make sure I mix all of my color completely. I don't want any stringies. Oh, I only made up 4 ounces of the Let's Resin epoxy resin. So it's the regular resin, not the fast cure. All right. I think that looks good, mixed wise. And we're going to pour it into the moon. Like I said, I don't know how much this takes, so I was just kind of guessing. So we'll let this kind of flow here for a minute. Looks like I may have poured in here just the right amount. All right. Now, I want my little dotting tool, part of my arm. So I do want to go around the edges. I don't want any bubbles. There's one. There's one. All right. Oops, didn't mean to drip that over there. That's okay. I may have to put in just this little extra here. I think that was a perfect amount. And it looks like the perfect color. I think it's going to go nicely with the moons. Okay. Now, the question is, do I want to do the same color here, or do I want to do a different color for the cat and the moon? You know what? I think I will. Maybe I'll do it darker this time. All right, so I think I poured in about this much last time. Up to that first line of my little cup here. And this time, I'm gonna add, oops, wow. That's gonna be a lot of metallic. That just squirted right out of the bottle. Which I did not want it to do. It'll be a darker blue this time for sure. Going with a darker blue. Looks mixed. All right, here we go. Pour it into here. Here's hoping it's enough. And it looks like it's just the right amount. Now, if I only knew how much this was, that would be ideal. Okay, where's my little dotting tool? Here you are. Gonna do another little run around here. I'm gonna go along the edge. Make sure we get any bubbles out of there. All right. Okay, that one looks good. So the little last drop in there I can get. Okay, now that takes care of that one. Let's try a copper. I gotta shake it up though because I haven't used it yet, and it's a metallic copper. Again, give it a little bit of shimmer. I'll pour it into this cup. And again, pouring up to the first line of my cup, because that seems to be where it needs to be. I haven't used this color before. It's a metallic copper. I'll go with 2 drops for now because I'm not sure how dark it'll be. Looks pretty translucent. It doesn't look like I even put anything in there. Probably because it's all on the walls. Definitely needs more. Let's go with a couple more drops. See if we can, oops, well, that was more. It just squirted right in there. No idea how much that was. But it's definitely, I got a bubble I can see right there. Get that bubble out of there. Go on. Okay. Back to mixing this one. This is a better color. Still not mixed though. It's getting there though. It's also getting hot in my hand. All right. I think it's mixed enough. How's it look? Looks pretty pretty. Right? All right. And we're going to pour. make sure I've got enough in there. I should scrape what I got in the cup here. Alright. As good as that's getting. Take my little dotting tool, go right around the edge. I gotta make sure I get rid of any bubbles that might be there. Okay. Alright, and there's one right there in the corner. Come on out. There we go. Got you. Got a few on the top. Let's spritz them. There we go. Alright. Welcome back to my channel. Okay, it's demolding day. And after I got done with this yesterday, I thought about it. And I should have backed this not in clear. Because something tells me it's just going to look like this on the other side. Which is not really what I was going for. But maybe I might be able to, before I take that one out, maybe I can back it in a UV and it'll look okay. Let's see. Here's our little extra resin. I ended up with a couple of bubbles in it. Got one here, one there. Otherwise, it's a perfectly clear mushroom. Alright, well, I'll fix those later. Okay, so we'll save this one for after. And I'm going to demold these three. And I think I'm going to start with this one first. It looks like none of them have any kind of bubbles in them, so that's good. Can't wait to see how these turned out. Oh, still a little bendy. But they should be demoldable. Alright. Perfect. Just what I was going for. Let's see. I need something where you can see it. Alright, so it looks pretty good. It is still kind of bendy though. So we'll let it cure up completely. And let's see. Do I have something white? Let's see, this is white. Alright, how's that? Alright, you can kind of see the moons. There's maybe a couple of tiny little bubbles in there, but those are nothing. Alright, and now, the point of this was that these would be UV reacted. So, if I shine my light on these guys, give it a little shine, and then I'm going to have to turn off my lights real quick, and we'll see if they glow, which they should. And there, you can see the over, the little bit of extra powder on the edges, but you can't see it when it's not being highlighted. So, let's see here. I could turn that off. Turn off this light. Gotta turn off this other light. Oops. And you can't really see because it's still too bright in here. Okay. We'll have to try that again afterwards, when I can actually get some light on it. And actually, what I could do, not that this is UV resin, but I could throw this in my UV resin light for a couple of minutes to get a good, powerful light on it. And that way it'll have a good glow, and I can turn off all my lights and come back. Alright, so while we're waiting for that, we're going to move on to these guys. And again, these are still kind of bendy. So I'll have to make sure I lay them flat afterwards. Otherwise they'll be bent, and I don't want them bent. Ooh, that one looks pretty good, but I do see a couple of bubbles. But I can fix those. Stars could use a little bit better. But again, I can fix those too because I can color them in with my markers. So I do have a silver marker that I can color these in with. Next time I'll know. Next time, you know what? I won't color the mold. And I'll color the mold. I'll color the stars and the moon and the cat afterwards. All right, let's make that one flat. Okay, last one. This was the sun and the stars. And I'm sure there's maybe a couple of little bubbles in here too, but and again, it's bendy. All right. Well, I mean, the color of the background is cool. See, the background is kind of cool. But my colors here didn't really pop the way I expected them to. So we might be taking markers to those later too. All right, now, let's see here. I'll move this out of the way. I'm going to, let's see, I just threw this in there. So let's put this here for a minute. All right, we're going to put this here. Turn this off. I'm going to go run off and turn off my other lights. I'll be back in a minute. Okay, and it's still not dark enough to see these, or the pigment didn't show up. Not sure which, because you would think these should have reacted. Plus I just stuck it in my... Oh, that is a little bit. It's just not bright enough in here to do it. Let's try this again. Hold on. Throw that in there for a minute. Just for a second. I know it's a little dark. I almost wish it was darker so that we could see them light up. But we're going to give it a minute. And maybe, you know, closest thing I could do is maybe put something in the way to try and cast a bigger shadow. Ooh, I know. Paper. This will probably be better to do it with, because I got another piece over here that I can use to make a shadow. Okay. All right, let's see. Do this quick. Oh, see, they do light up, but they're not super. They're a little sketchy because of the way that it was done. Maybe I can do something better with that. All right, let me turn back on my lights here so we can see. There we go. Now we can see. I got to turn on another light. And here we go. There, now I've got better lights. Okay, so I've got some ideas on those now that that was my first time doing them. All right, now, while that's doing that, let's work on these. Now, I've got a whole big kit that I just bought of brand new acrylic markers. My new kit, 24 dual tips. And let's see, there's all these wonderful colors. Look at all these colors. Got greens, pinks, and purples, silvers, whites, golds, yellows. All right, let's go with this silver. All right. Now these are dual tips, so one end is a fine brush-like tip and the other end is a dot tip. So, let's see how this works. Oh, much better. There we go. All right. That's better looking. And that one. And this one. All right, and that one. Okay. So those are colored in. I could fix these two little spots on the edge here. Throw in some UV. I'll finish those up later. But I think the color looks good. All right. Coming up right there. All right, I'll have to make these again. I'll try them in a different thing here. All right, let's see. What do we got for this sun here that I can do? What if we do yellow? Bling this up a little. I'm going to do the outsides here in yellow. All right, that's better. Okay. This is more what I was going for. Kind of. Did not do what I wanted. But there we go. Okay. Oh, I can do that. And I do the center. That a little better too. Okay, that's more what I was going for. All right, that looks better. You know, I think I should do those moons too. Not that they need it. You know, I just don't think they stand out as much as the sun does now that I colored in the sun. So, let's do the moon. And now that I've done this once, I don't know, in the future, color these guys afterwards. All right, that looks better. What do you think? You think, let's see, should probably color those dots in. Let's see, do the dots in black. My black marker. Oops, that's a brand new black marker. We don't want to use that one yet. I've got a black one here somewhere. Here we go. Okay, black marker. Okay. Okay. There we go. That looks better. All right, that's better. Now, this kit that I got came with tassels. So you can put the tassels on. I can figure out how to get into the tassels. Where is the entrance? Oh, here we go. There we are. All right, we've got all different colors here. I think think a gold one would go pretty here. So let's see. Stick this in to here. Maybe. Let's see. All right, there we go. How's that look? Looks pretty good, right? All right, completed. Ta-da! All right, and now for the cat one. Let's see what do we got for colors. Oops, purple, black, maybe a blue tassel since it's a blue bookmark. Kind of goes with it. Let's see, we'll do this one. Come on, there we go. And it's easy to tie them on, okay? Ta-da! All right, there we go. That one's done too. And this one, I'm not sure about. I still feel like I can get this to glow better. Maybe I should fill in the moons and the stars again with the glow-in-the-dark powder from this side and then cure it with UV resin. They'll be flat, they won't be raised anymore, but they would glow in the dark. Alright, see, I don't need to color anybody anymore, so put these guys away. Alright, let me work on that, and I'll come back once it's completed. Alright, bye for now. Okay, welcome back. Okay, I fixed the bookmark. It now glows in the dark, as you can see. I've turned my lights off, that's why it's a little darker in here, so you can see it glowing. So give me a minute and I'll turn my lights back on, because we don't need to be in the dark. Okay, so what I did to fix this was I took my glow-in-the-dark powder and I mixed it in this little cup with some UV resin, and I filled in the moons and then cured it under my UV light. So what I've learned from this project is if you are going to be coloring in the different things on the bookmarks, it's better to color them after you've molded it, because it was more difficult to color it and before you molded it. So coloring it after molding, much better. I just want to say thank you to my subscribers. Welcome to my new subscribers. Hope everybody enjoyed this video and found it found it useful. And I know I learned a few things. I'll be putting a tassel on this one, and I'm going to set them aside and let them finish curing because they're still a little bendy. And then I'll take some glamour shots and post them at the end. Hope you enjoyed the video. Until next time, bye!